What makes a video game great? Is it just the big things like what kind of genre is it? Or is it the technical things like how much of a frame rate would you want it to run to? As much as those things are kind of the popular factors affecting people how to want to play a video game right now, fortunately there's more. There's the visual style, there's the choice of music in the soundtrack, memorable and engaging characters given the game is character-centered, programming nuances people may notice from time to time that delivers a full package of immersion and enjoyment to players. Respect the small things. And there's one game that encapsulates all of those features into the sleekest way possible. Introducing Persona 5. Persona 5 is a turn-based Japanese RPG game centered on a group of teenagers who, by the social norm, are regular high school students enrolled in Shujin Academy and self-proclaimed phantom thieves at times. The players are tasked to live a discrete double life as a regular high school student who are put into a new school in a new city where new friends, acquaintances are met. Well, it sounds normal for sure, but there's a twist. Using a mysterious phone app that transports the heroes to an alternate dimension called the Metaverse, you, as the protagonist, awaken personas, supernatural creatures of the cognition that you will face and collect all throughout the more than 100 hours of entertaining playthrough. These personas are used to fight through dungeons filled with enemies called shadows, which you can tame and add to your personal persona army. Think of it as Pokemon, but this time, they're based on creatures from Japanese and foreign folklore and would sometimes include creatures and demons straight up from Dante's Inferno, Egyptian and Roman Catholic mythos and beliefs. You and your friends refer to one another as phantom thieves, with the task of stealing people's hearts. Not literally, but it translates to stealing corrupted desires and wishes. Throughout the game, you are tasked to perform cleansing of bad people's hearts. People who have shown corruption, forbidden and evil desires, and of wrongdoings in the real life, are the targets of the phantom thieves in their path to vigilante justice in the Metaverse. By the time you, the player, has cleared the corrupted person's dungeon, that person will owe up and apologize for his or her twisted desires in real life as they would be cleansed by you and the phantom thieves. Also, this is the 5th mainline game from the series and the other 4 games are worth mentioning, but this 5th game is so streamlined, it's probably the best game out of the franchise. At the end of the day though, it's just another turn-based JRPG, but what makes it unique? It all comes down to the smallest details that makes up the big picture. Let's start with the overall style and aesthetic of the game. The game is stylishly beautiful and attractive. It's the very definition of a beautiful mess of a UI and art direction. From the main menu of the start screen, to the appealing look of checking the group chat during class on your phone, to the train ride interactions and transitions, to the in-game and in-fight menus. It oozes style. In a rare case of games having style over substance, and vice versa, it stands out as having both qualities. It's a rare feat to be successful on this balancing act. It's also fluid too, with design transitions just seamlessly interact from function to function. It's really worth noting the uniqueness of it. This, coupled with a cel-shaded character and scenario art style, perfects the beautiful mess aesthetic. It's messy, yet it's clean. It's different, but it's executed well. It's sexy, it's dark, it has lots of red, and it's confident to the T. I have never seen a game oozing with so much attractive visual flair as this one. Also, additionally, the game doesn't stick up to CG's cutscenes. For the whole entire time of the story, some scenes are rendered as actual hand-drawn animations, just like your Naruto or your One Piece, and the like. This does dramatically add up to the betterment of the experience. Of course, it's not all a perfect experience for some. When the game first came out, articles cited that a few people cannot enjoy the game as they call the visual design very distracting and incoherent. However, It looks like more people have no complaints about it, and it looks like nitpicking for the most part. Also, Persona 5 was met with delays in its development as it was announced around 2013, and it hasn't hit shelves until late 2016 in Japan and early 2017 in North America. The core theme of the game is centered on youth doing something about the unjust people and adults running this version of Japan. And in doing so, the act of stealing someone's heart comes into play. It did not find subtlety in displaying themes of thievery. The protagonists' group are called Phantom Thieves, and from there, the influences are starting to be clear. The first persona you will meet and obtain in the game is called Arsène, with Arsène directly referencing the gentleman thief himself. From our own literature, Arsène Lupin. Arsène Lupin is a character created by Maurice Leblanc, who is cleverly referenced with the coffee shop named Leblanc. Our protagonist ends up crashing in Yongen Jaya. Arsène Lupin is a master thief, stealing jewels and valuables from the rich, and is also a detective at the same time. He appears alongside the infamous Sherlock Holmes in stories in the early 1900s. And if the last name Lupin strikes a familiarity in your thoughts, it is also referenced in Japanese animated shows as the canonically great-grandfather to Lupin III, a classic show about, well, stealing. Persona 5's protagonist doesn't steal hearts alone though. He is helped by confidants, or in real life, friends. Some of the earliest friends you will meet are Ryuji and An. Both are students of the new high school you are transferred to. Also, additionally, you will meet a weird-looking cat named Morgana. He isn't just another conflicted character though, as he's the reason how you will unlock mementos. A place similar to the game's dungeons or palaces, but it's not the place to find the big story-driving boss fights, as those would be put in the main storyline. Additionally, you, as the protagonist, won't be fighting shadows on your casual clothes as the general rule of thumb when it comes to RPGs. You will be fighting in seemingly thematic clothing reminiscent of a sleek, thievish-looking trench coats and red gloves. An wears a latex suit reminiscent of the classic Catwoman design from DC Comics that completes the look of a femme fatale heroine, and Ryuji sports a cool black street punk-looking attire, complete with necessary spikes and hair to complete the look. Other confidants or friends would wear similar clothes too during dungeon crawling. It's like being dressed to kill is a crime you would want to pursue. It won't be a complete look at a Persona game without mentioning the music, and my god, did they nail it. If there's one thing the Persona series is known for, it has got to be the music. The game composer, Shoji Meguro, has created something so seamless with the entirety of the game. It adapts the elements of acid jazz to the mix, breathing life to this beautiful mess of art direction. It perfectly encapsulates the music the Phantom Thieves would steal to. It is a complete departure to the J-rock vibe of Persona 3 and the J-pop upbeat vibe of Persona 4 and 4G. It is a welcome surprise considering the soundtracks of the past games leading to the release of Persona 5 is peak greatness, and is a welcome addition to the batch. There is so much the music does to supplement the game. A very cool example would be the music to the model gun store. The store attendant is a very scary person to even start talking with at first, but then he kind of shows himself and he's a pretty cool guy. This is partnered with the music that plays when you enter his store. At the start, the music has this muddled and dark feel to it, steadily building up to something ominous and sad and dark. And when you least expect it, it breaks into this upbeat, funky pop jazz tune. The way it mirrors his personality is only the first of the subtleties I have discovered within the game, and it is awesome. There's music in every part, in every direction, and has you up in the mood for the game. All in all, Persona 5 is a great experience and is a must-have game in the PlayStation library. It is also a great way to bridge the old and the new generation of consoles, as Persona 5 is the last big JRPG released for the PlayStation 3, be it majorly available to PlayStation 4 too. Never have I seen such mastery in technical feat and uniqueness than this game. The Persona series has games toppling one after another in Marvel, and Persona 5 proves that you can freshen up a tried and tested turn-based combat JRPG to new audiences. Persona 5 finds Atlas and each and everyone who contributed into the creation of this game at top form and has me personally excited until next time.